Guys, I just want to say, just so you know, we filmed this entire video once before.
Yesterday.
And now we're doing it again because Jessie didn't like the way her hair looked in the video.
It probably doesn't look any better now.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
It's Jessie.
And it's Jessica. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a little advice video because recently we've been getting a few comments of people stuck in a dilemma about which university they should pick. They're basically stuck between two universities. They don't know what to make their firm, they don't know what to make their insurance, and basically deciding which university is best for them. So for today's video, we're going to try and give you some of our best tips to help you make that decision. Yeah. We're not going to tell you which university to go for, but maybe just some ideas to help you think about where you want to go. If you haven't checked out our last video, we did our University of Birmingham campus tour, so please make sure to go to the link in the description and check it out, and make sure you like and share the video if it helps you out. Thank you so much guys for 2,800 subscribers. 2,800 subscribers. Let's try and push for 3,000 subscribers by the end of...
Let's go by the end of the month.
No. Not April. Guys, for all your support, for subscribing, for sharing the videos, for liking them. Honestly, we didn't think it would help this many people, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to support us that bit further, you can also watch the ads that will be throughout the video. But even if you choose not to, you being here is more than enough. It's more than enough. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe, and we hope you enjoyed the video. So people had a few queries about, like, they don't know what to make their firm choice and they don't know what to make their insurance. So if you don't know what that is, your firm choice is basically, if I get the grades required to do this course or to go to this university, I will go to this university. So it's almost like an agreement that if I get these grades, I will go. It's like my first choice. And then your insurance is basically, if you don't get the grades into your firm choice university, you go to that second place. So it's like your plan B. So if I don't get my firm, I will go to my insurance. What people normally do is they put the grades, or the university that requires higher grades, they put that as their firm choice, and the university that maybe wants lower grades, they'll put that as their insurance choice, just in case they don't get the grades. So loads of people have got their offers right now, and it's just about deciding what you need to go to. Yeah. So first thing to think about is the location. So how far do you want to travel? Do you want it to be a 20-minute ride? Do you want it to be 5 hours? Do you want it to be a 2-hour journey on a train? It really depends on the person, because some people are quite attached to their family, or this is the first time they're leaving home, so they want to be close. Us being twins, it may not affect us as much as other people. Like, we can be 3 hours away and not really miss home because we have each other. So it doesn't feel like we're leaving home behind. Because home is here. Home is here. Someone who chooses to be 30 minutes away might find it harder than someone who decides to go 5 hours away. So it literally just depends on the person. You decide how far do you want to travel, but also remember that phones are there, Zoom is there. People go home like every weekend, or you go home for Easter, you go home for Christmas, so you're not necessarily stuck as much as you think you are. Think about if that is important to you, how far away from home you want to be. The factor that people were struggling between was the size of the uni. And so some people were saying that Birmingham seems a bit like big and overwhelming compared to somewhere like Portsmouth or Brighton. I had the same dilemma where we were struggling between either picking Birmingham or Portsmouth. And Birmingham was like the bigger university. It did seem a lot more scary. And it seemed like, okay, if we choose this, we're really going to be pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, compared to Portsmouth, which when we went to the open day, it was really nice. It was a lot more smaller, but we felt, because we had a smaller sixth form, we didn't want to end up feeling like, for example, we went to the open day for Chichester, and it felt like I would end up being in sixth form again because it was so small and you didn't want to feel like you were in school. So we thought, you know, why not branch out a bit? And our older sister also went to Portsmouth, and I didn't think we wanted to just go to Portsmouth just because she went there. Just think about what experiences you've had in the past, if you've been to big sixth forms, big colleges, or small colleges and sixth forms, and think about, do you want something different, or do you like and you feel comfortable being in the same kind of environment? Just because you're in a big university doesn't mean you're going to walk outside and thousands of people on the street. Well, I mean, if you're going to campus, you may just see a lot of people walking past, but I don't think that's really the daunting experience. I think it's more about going to a big uni. you don't want to feel lost or you don't know where you're going. But I feel like if you know that you can thrive there and you can do well and you can have great opportunities, and if it's only just the fear that's stopping you from going to a big university, go. Big is just number of people. If you get lost, that's the beauty of it, to message someone from your course and be like, meet me at the library and we can walk together to this building if you don't know where it is. I don't think size should be a really big determining factor unless you just feel like you'll be overwhelmed by the size of the uni. You want something where you feel a bit more safe and secure. Yeah, like a community feel. Yeah. The next point we want to raise is the question of whether you want to go for a city-based university or a campus-based university. So the University of Birmingham is campus-based, meaning when you walk around, like all the lecture buildings, everything is on a site, is on a campus. But for example, a university like Portsmouth, you're walking around the city to get, so between buildings it's like you're walking past the Sainsbury's, you're walking past this, like you're walking through the city. Personally liked UOB because it was campus based, but the city was so close, so that you could go on the train for 5 minutes and you could be in the ball ring, so it didn't feel like you were shut off completely to a campus, like you still had access to the real world. You're in the hustle and bustle of life. Loughborough or Nottingham, where like the campus is the campus and the city's like 20-30 minutes away, and it just felt like you were more isolated. Some people like that because it feels like you're in your own world. But personally, I like the fact that I was in the real world. Think about if you want a campus-based uni or you want a city-based uni. I think the next point is probably the most important point, which is looking at the course and the modules. Course. For example, again, the University of Birmingham Sports Science and the University of Portsmouth Sports Science, they're both called sports science, but what you actually learn at different universities may be different. So you have to look at the modules and what you're going to learn, because the name could be the same, but what you're learning could be completely different, and how they teach or the examinations that they decide to use. So for example, when we were looking at Birmingham, we knew that they were more exam based, but Portsmouth wasn't. So that could be important to you. Do you want to be doing exams, or do you want to be doing coursework or more practical things? So I really wish I did look at more of the courses and like available in terms, because to think about it, the course that you pick, you actually have to be interested in it, because that's the course you're going to be doing for the next 3 years. So you don't just want to pick, I want to do business, I want to do law, I want to do this, because there could be something out there at a different university that's more for you. Sports science is such a big course name, and there's so many different things and versions of sports science. Advise anyone out there, you're deciding between two unis, go for the course you like best. The uni comes afterwards, it's the course first. University of Birmingham is exam based, but also there is coursework, so it's more 50-50. I would say that for me, looking back when I was picking university and courses, actually believe what they tell you you're going to be learning. You're going to be learning what's on the website. Don't think, when you go there it's going to change, or it's going to be different, or it's not really going to be like that, or I'm not really going to take an exam at the end of the year. Yes, you will. So don't kid yourself and think, I'm not really going to take it. Like, actually stop for a second. Like, actually think, if it says I'm going to take exams, you will take exams. Don't believe that you won't. That's one thing that I wish that I kind of, by next week we have to pick our second year modules. I'm actively going to think about, do I want to do this? So definitely just think about the modules that you're going to pick. So another way that I think for most people is an important decider of which university to go to is the table rankings. So the table rankings, where your university places in the UK in terms of how well they do, or even the course itself, how that course ranks in different universities. So I think for me, table rankings wasn't the be or end all. But I think for some parents, they want their kids to go to a Russell Group uni. They want it to be high on the rankings. And that is important. You should see how well they are at teaching your course. So I think it is important to look at the table rankings, but don't let that bog you down being like, I can't go to this university because they're not high enough. When you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning, the first thing I don't think is, I'm in a Russell Group university. No, I just think I have work to do. I don't think, I'm in a Russell Group university. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make me more capable. I think it could obviously give me an advantage because the teaching is obviously better. Maybe. But just because you go to Russell Group university doesn't mean that you can do well. There's some people who don't do their work and they're here. And there's some people at a non-Russell Group university that are doing better. If you care about that, you have to put the effort in to make sure that you can get the best from the university. And also look at the student satisfaction rate. I think that's even more important. This is basically where students basically take a survey, answer questions on how satisfied they are with the quality of teaching or the course. It's the students actually giving feedback on the course. So that's probably more important than the rankings. Because there's some universities who are higher up on the rankings, but they have a low student satisfaction, compared to a university that could be lower on the rankings, but high student satisfaction. Another way that people look for which university they want to go to is a TEF award, which is a teaching excellence framework. So this can be awarded to universities based on their level of teaching. So it goes from TEF Gold, TEF Silver, or TEF Bronze. So you can look at your university or your course and see, did they get this award, what level did they get, so that can give you more reassurance in terms of the teaching and learning at that university. I feel like this year is very difficult for people looking to go to university, as that you can't go to open days, you can't actually experience going around places or anything. If I was going to university this year, I would be so scared. I would be like so unsure, because you don't even know where you're going. Like, you haven't even been there. Because I think it's just it's quite an important decision to make, obviously, that will impact the next 3 years of your life. And the fact that you don't get to like make a proper decision because you couldn't, like, that's really tough. So I definitely think go to the online open days, use the websites. It's time consuming and you don't want to sit there looking on a website, but it's the best that you're gonna get. Like, use all the resources, watch videos, things like that, to try and make the best decision. You might not have envisioned this whole process being like this, or you might not have gone the university you wanted to. I think when it comes to the end of it, where you end up going to university is where you're meant to be. Anything happens, you can always change course, you can change unis, you can defer the year if it's really something that you're not happy with, or you're not happy with the choice that was made. I feel like for maybe in future years, if people are watching this video and they are able to go to open days, one thing that we would recommend that we didn't do enough is to take pictures, because once you start going to many open days, you don't remember what university was what. Everything becomes blurred. Like, I'll think about, oh my gosh, that library was so nice, but I can't remember if that was at Loughborough, if that was at Nottingham, if that was at Bath, if that was at Birmingham. So take pictures. We also make a pros and cons list. Make a PowerPoint about each university, put pictures, put the requirement grades that you need. And that's what we did. Yeah. I made a mood board and I put all the universities and like what they require. What they require, what you're going to be learning. Another thing that we did was when we would go to school and we'd be talking to our teachers, and we'd be like, oh my gosh, we don't know what to do. And then one of our PE teachers, he gave us this advice. He said...
What did he say?
What did he say? He said to put the names of the universities, the 2 universities that you're struggling with, put them in a hat. Randomly, take out one and look at the piece of paper. And when you look at it, don't think, okay, I have to go to this university. Yeah, you're not picking it out and saying, okay, this is the university I'm going to. You're going to pick it out, you're going to look at it, and you're going to say, how do you feel? How would I feel if this was the university I had to go to? We also did that for accommodation. It's a logical way to do things. If you're quite indecisive, because we are quite indecisive, you have to take yourself out of the bigger picture and just think, how would I actually feel? Would you feel excited? Would you feel sad? Would you feel worried? How would you feel going to that university? So I recommend putting the names in a hat, picking it out and saying, how do I feel if that's the university I had to go to? And I just think, honestly, in the end, you'll know. When you know, you'll know. You'll just have that feeling where you'll be like, this is where I can see myself. This is where I can see myself thriving, being on a sports team, walking around campus, being in this library. Yeah. Like, you can see yourself like being there and getting the most out of the university. Like, once you do get there, everything will fall into place. Like, even right now, I'm thinking, sometimes it's a bit tough, but in the end, this was the place for me, and you will get through the 3 years. Yes. Now we have 3 assignments all released at once, and I'm thinking, how can I do this? But no matter what, I will get through it, because I've done it before. You will get through it. Good luck, guys. Good luck deciding. Virtual hug. We're here for you. Message us, DM us if you guys want some reassurance, if you want help. But just don't worry about making this decision. You've got it. Take our tips with a pinch of salt. Yeah, we're not experts at picking what university to go for. We're not experts in everything university. We're just trying our best to give you our best advice on what we think you should do. Yeah. And obviously, because we are first year students as well, guys, like, this is our first rodeo too. So we don't know what we're doing. And also, if you DM us, don't get upset if we take too long to reply to your DM. We are trying to finish the week's work. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video if it helped you. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. Bye. Bye.